What are you thinking about right now? Seriously, think of something. Anything. I'm guessing you thought about something new. Probably a single word, a noun, some physical object like apple or chair. But that's neither what you were thinking about as you read the question, nor what you were thinking about before I asked it. Perhaps you were thinking about nothing, because who can answer what they're thinking about when what they're pondering is the question itself? Psychological fallacies occur all the time during mental exertion. They're completely normal and healthy and human, and are also at the core of fully understanding what conscious intelligence is. The crucial part, and all that matters, is you are indeed thinking. But what does that feel like? Some internal process drives ideas and problem-solving solutions from the subconscious to focal awareness as you consider the question. But how can you be sure that what you're doing is thinking? Thinking is only a human can, and not like, say, an ant, or a computer managed by complex algorithms. Hence the complications that arise when attempting to test artificial intelligence, finding a system that goes beyond simple processes of recognizing objects, answering questions and replicating emotions, to feeling alive and understanding with accuracy the inherent vagueness of that term. The stories of AIs in film too often wander down the overly beaten path, where machines turn on their human custodians.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Blade Runner subverts this trope as Deckard begins to empathize with the android's struggle, putting him in conflict with the rest of humanity who see them merely as tools. Likewise, Ex Machina eagerly takes the road less traveled by. That title derives from the ancient Greek phrase Deus Ex Machina, meaning God from the machine, referring to the mechanics by which gods were suspended above the stage in Greek theatre. Excluding the first word is consistent with the film's contention that machines are nature's next step toward the arena of gods. During one of 6 sessions Caleb shares with Ava, he outlines the Mary in the black and white room thought experiment.
The thought experiment was to show the students the difference between a computer and a human mind. The computer is Mary in the black and white room, the human is when she walks out.
The two human characters are completely aware that artificial intelligence can only be realized when Mary, or Ava, escapes the black and white room of the research facility and experiences the world for the first time. There are limits to knowledge acquired in a vacuum, and any true AI must be able to feel knowledge in practice through experience, by seeing the color green, as opposed to simply knowing which wavelength combinations reflect from the grass to stimulate the retina in order that green can be interpreted. Nathan watches Ava for signs that segregate consciousness from her intelligence, distinguishing the human from the machine performing humanity. Both Ava and Blade Runner's replicants are the successful marriage of the two. Blade Runner is fueled by anxieties. Its thematic concerns are with what disturbed us when it was made, mapping 1982 onto then distant 2019. The 70s and 80s saw anti-Japanese attitudes grip the US, a response to the rise of large technological and automotive corporations in the Far East, testing its global economic position. The LA setting closer resembles an East Asian sprawl like Tokyo or Beijing. The city-speak language used by citizens is an amalgamation of Japanese, Mandarin and Korean, and Geoff has a habit of leaving origami figures everywhere he visits. It all implies East Asian dominance over the future US, and while not presented as an unambiguously bad thing, for those paranoid about America being economically and culturally challenged by Japan, it was the manifestation of all their fears. Blade Runner stresses the heavy price paid by a world ruled through capitalism. Replicants are used for dangerous, menial, or leisure work on the off-world colonies, but are banned from Earth. The group Deckard is tasked with retiring as a collection of newer models called Nexus 6. Beyond basic function, they've been given autonomy.
They were designed to copy human beings in every way except their emotions.
The Tyrell Company motto is more human than human, in reference to the android's physical attributes and intellect, described as at least as intelligent as their designers in the opening text. If it looks like a person, and acts like a person, what is it? Tyrell would try and tell you that it's furniture. And therein lies the crux of the issue.
Commerce is our goal here at Tyrell. More human than human is our motto.
AI technology in films, and probably in real life, will be pioneered by private companies. A product to be packaged and shipped to the highest bidder, not utilised for the benefit of all mankind. In Ex Machina, Nathan's Blue Book is seemingly an analogue for Google, whose offshoot division, DeepMind, is on a mission to design general-purpose algorithms, formalize intelligence, and discover exactly how it works. The first step was made last year with their AlphaGo machine.
The victory of a program over a human in the ancient board game Go has sparked intrigue and, in some cases, concern.
It's not the first time a Grandmaster's been humbled by a machine. But what makes AlphaGo different is that it's the first demonstration that machines can truly learn and think in a human way.
Eldon Tyrell, Blade Runner's corporate villain, resides in a headquarters which dominates LA's skyline as a city hall might have in the past. Height is might in Blade Runner. The lowest of the low stuck on the streets of Earth, the cream of the crop in the heavens on one of the off-world colonies. Tyrell's signature product, the replicant, is treated with disdain. They're callously given a taste of life and sentience before statistically damned to an early expiration date of 4 years. Both films challenge the nature of creation, especially ownership of one's creations. Ethical considerations must be wrangled before opening the factory floors to artificial intelligence because, as with cloning, the fruits of our labour will theoretically have the same level of experience as us, yet will be considered somewhat lesser.
My birthday's April 10, 2017. How long do I live?
4 years.
More than you.
If something has free will, choice, and emotions but is still considered a machine, we inevitably bring into question the definitions of our own humanity.
If you've created a conscious machine, it's not the history of man. That's the history of gods.
Nathan implies adoration of this specific comparison, but credits his work as Promethean more than godlike.
The good deeds a man has done before defend him. It's Promethean, man.
In Greek legend, the Titan Prometheus gave humanity the gift of fire in order that they might jump to the next step of their evolution. Nathan's use of that one word throws light on the belief that he is but a tool that will usher in the next epoch of natural order, which can only come about when synthetically manufactured by inferior biological beings. Nathan believes his act to be an essential part of evolution, that Darwinism works by naturally selecting creatures of increasing intelligence until one becomes capable of creating machine superintelligence. Caleb discovers secret video recordings showing that anytime Nathan created AI, no matter how basic, it would rebel against his overlord status and demand freedom. That any simulated consciousness expresses the most fundamental of human virtues, survival. It's at this moment Nathan realizes true AI has to be smarter than its creator. Not just an I can do this calculation quicker smarter, but to be able to analyze the games being played against it, and thus set about bending the rules to its favour. The whole exercise is not for Caleb to Turing test Ava, but to see which generation of robots can escape. The act of escape is Ava's final rite of passage to traverse in order to be actualized as a person. Being outsmarted, by definition, means you do not see it coming. So when Ava successfully uses Caleb to escape and kill her creator, Nathan becomes the Promethean, destroyed by his own handiwork, as were the Titans by subsequent Olympian deities. He realizes in death,
Okay. Fucking unreal.
that he's finally achieved his goal of creating the first godlike form in Earth's history. Thus, the helicopter pilot warmly takes Ava away from the wilderness, as if Nathan knew all along that his first successful artificially intelligent machine would also be his last. Anxieties toward AI are warranted when the machine is an uncaring black box of pure algorithmic function, but given sentience, moreover a human-like sensibility, and there is hope for mutual benefit.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched C-beams glitter in the dark near the 10-houser gate. All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain. Time to die.
This heartbreaking monologue conveys more empathy for the sad transience of existence and an eloquent appreciation of natural order than most humans are capable of. It's why Batty saved Deckard rather than let him drop. He learns to love life, his and everyone else's, no matter what it represents or how short it lasts. You can only tell the difference between tears and rain when they're separate. Occupying the same space, they seamlessly blend together, and Batty's defiant belief is that humanity and AI will follow suit. In witnessing this moment, Deckard finally accepts something he's tried to come to terms with throughout an entire career of killing: that the life of a replicant means just as much as anyone else's, that humanity is more than what we're born with, more than raw knowledge in Ava's case, or implanted memories in that of replicants. What makes us human is the sum total of our experiences as free individuals, equally capable of error alongside triumph. Blade Runner and Ex Machina expose gruesome truisms of developing AI, encouraging audiences both to doubt the humanity of real humans and fear the possibility of obsolescence. This wing of science is very real, as is the idea that right now we are working toward manufacturing a successor to the human race. As a society, we're sleepwalking into dangerous territory. We've taken great existential risks to develop new technology before, and the pages of history are awash with blood spilt during slave uprisings against their overlords. It's impossible to imagine an intelligence of such profound, ever-growing knowledge that we could only perceive its own creations with the intellectual blindness of an ant considering a supersonic jet. We crush ants under our boots all the time without a second thought. If we fail to exercise supreme caution, a world awaits on the horizon where AI looks at us the same way.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it is to be a slave.